In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 college football games happening on September 13th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Wisconsin versus Alabama. The Crimson Tide host Wisconsin this week after a 1-1 start. Alabama dropped their opener against Florida State but came out swinging in Week 2, demolishing UL Monroe 73-0. Wisconsin, meanwhile, is 2-0 with a pair of solid defensive performances. Danny O'Neal is at quarterback in place of the injured Billy Edwards Jr., and while Wisconsin's offense has looked serviceable, it's nothing flashy yet. Alabama's home field strength and overall depth still give them the clear edge, with Wisconsin's offense still working out kinks and Alabama expected to lean on their explosiveness. The Tide should win comfortably and cover the spread. As our first pick for this matchup, the Alabama Crimson Tide to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Wisconsin has shown elite efficiency in defense, top 3 in total defense so far, excellent in sacks per game, and stout in rushing defense. Alabama has struggled to sustain the run and is going to be tested. Offensive possessions could be limited, especially early, and the pace won't favor a shootout. Expect Alabama to score, but not in a way that pushes this game high over the total. Given the clash of strengths, Wisconsin's top-tier defense versus Alabama's questionable run game, especially without Jam Miller, this game is likely to be lower scoring than many expect. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick. Oregon versus Northwestern. The Ducks roll into Evanston as heavy road favorites, and everything points toward them keeping momentum in their first Big Ten matchup. Oregon has been dominant to start the season, averaging 64 points per game and winning their first 2 contests by a combined 112 points. Last week's 69-3 demolition of Oklahoma State showcased just how explosive this offense can be, with chunk plays on the ground and through the air coming at will. The defense also held its own, swarming the line and taking away any hope of rhythm for the Cowboys. Northwestern enters this game with far more questions than answers. They looked lost in their opener against Tulane, turning the ball over 5 times and struggling to sustain drives. A win over a lower-level football championship subdivision opponent last week does little to mask those issues, especially with starting running back Cam Porter lost for the season. With Oregon undefeated on the road last year and looking every bit like a playoff contender again, the Ducks have all the tools to take control early and extend the lead well past the number. As our first pick for this matchup, the Oregon Ducks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total is set around 48.5 points, and Oregon has shown it can hit that almost on its own. The Ducks are averaging over 60 points per game and have yet to be slowed, even when starters rotate out late. Northwestern's defense is going to be tested every possession, and even if they stiffen at times, the Ducks' tempo eventually breaks opponents down. On the other side, while Northwestern's offense has been shaky, they showed a bit of life last week and could find some late points if Oregon eases off with the game in hand. That combination of Oregon's explosive scoring and the potential for the Wildcats to chip in a touchdown or 2 points toward the over. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Temple versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma comes into this matchup riding high after a gritty 24-13 win over Michigan. Their defense has been excellent so far, especially in the passing game, where they lead the Football Bowl sub-division in opponent completion percentage. But turnovers have been a problem. The Sooners are carrying a -4 turnover margin into this game, and that could bite them if Temple can capitalize. Temple has looked impressive so far, outscoring opponents 97-17 through 2 games behind a sharp performance from quarterback Evan Simon and a rushing attack that's among the best in the country to this point. While Oklahoma should eventually pull away, I believe Temple can stay in this one longer than many expect. As our first pick for this matchup, the Temple Owls to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have shown they can move the ball, but the scoring may slow down as this one progresses. Temple's offense has been efficient early, especially through the air, and Oklahoma's front seven has been good, but has also given up decent rushing yardage in spots. Meanwhile, Oklahoma's offense hasn't been as explosive on the ground, though John Mateer has done well passing. Given the Sooners' defensive strength and Temple's offensive discipline, I expect fewer big scoring bursts than might be expected in a spread-heavy game. With the implied total hovering around the low 50s, leaning toward the under feels like the sharper play. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Clemson versus Georgia Tech. The Tigers enter their first Atlantic Coast Conference road test searching for answers on offense after an ugly 0-2 start that includes a home loss to LSU and a sloppy win over Troy. Clemson managed only 261 yards in their opener and followed it up with 316 yards against Troy, averaging fewer than 4 yards per carry in both games. Injuries have not helped, with top wideout Antonio Williams sidelined, but the bigger issue has been the inability to run the ball with any consistency. Georgia Tech, on the other hand, has looked energized to open the season. The Jackets rushed for over 300 yards in their Week 1 win at Colorado and totaled 463 yards of offense in that game. Even with Haynes King banged up, Georgia Tech leaned on its ground game to handle Gardner-Webb the following week. With the betting line shrinking from 6 points down to around 3.5 early in the week, the market clearly believes King will be available for this matchup. Clemson's defense will keep them in it, but their inefficiency on offense and struggles in the trenches point toward the Jackets keeping this one tight at home. As our first pick for this matchup, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side picks. Clemson has not been able to sustain drives or generate explosive runs, ranking outside the top 100 in both predicted points added per rush and rushing explosiveness. Georgia Tech, while dangerous on the ground, prefers methodical drives that eat clock, limiting the number of possessions on both sides. Add in the Jackets' ability to control tempo and Clemson's inefficiency, and this game profiles as a grind rather than a shootout. Expect both defenses to win their share of battles, with Georgia Tech stringing together long possessions and Clemson continuing to search for rhythm offensively. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. West Virginia versus Pittsburgh. The Panthers roll into Morgantown with momentum after 2 strong showings to start the year, and Eli Holstein has been the centerpiece of their offensive attack. Holstein is averaging over 320 passing yards per game and has the weapons to stretch the field vertically, something West Virginia simply doesn't have the personnel to match. Pitt is putting up more than 50 points per game, ranking inside the top 10 nationally, and while those numbers came against Duquesne and Central Michigan, the efficiency and rhythm have been evident. The Mountaineers are 1-1, leaning heavily on their ground game, which is averaging over 230 yards per outing, but injuries to key players like Jaheim White and Jaden Bray leave them thin on skill talent. Pitt's defense has been opportunistic enough to keep the Mountaineers from sustaining drives, and Holstein's experience gives the Panthers a clear edge at quarterback. With depth, tempo, and balance all in their favor, Pitt should be able to control this matchup on the road. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Panthers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. West Virginia's offense is one-dimensional and will struggle to consistently move the ball through the air, which limits their overall scoring ceiling. Pitt has the firepower to put up points, but facing a step up in competition, their numbers should come down from the gaudy totals of the first 2 weeks. The Mountaineers did force 3 interceptions last week against Ohio, and if they can make Holstein work for his completions, possessions will shorten and the pace will slow. With both defenses capable of creating stops and turnovers, the scoreboard shouldn't run away from either side. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.